Hello my dear students. In this video we are going to study the very important questions including PYQs, exemplar questions of class 10 chapter, that is chemical reactions and equations. Okay, let's get started. Yes, first let us solve one mark question, that is MCQs. Yes, let us study let us start with the first question, that is which of the following is the chemical change? Melting of iron rod, combustion of petrol, boiling of water, dissolution of salt in water. Yes, melting of iron rod is a physical change as there is no change in the identity of a substance. Then boiling of water is also a physical change where there is no change in the identity again. Then dissolution of salt in water is also a physical change. Okay. So now the combustion of petrol is a chemical change where petrol undergoes a combustion reaction to release gases. Okay. This is a chemical change. So our correct option will be combustion of petrol. Okay. Let us see the next question. Which of the following are an endothermic process or processes? Dilution of sulfuric acid, sublimation of dry ice, condensation of water vapor, evaporation of water. Yes, let us check. Dilution of sulfuric acid is a exothermic process as heat is released during dilution. Okay, it is exothermic. Then sublimation of dry ice, where dry ice is directly converted into the gaseous state. It is a endothermic process as it requires energy. Then condensation of water vapor, it releases heat to the environment. Condensation of water vapor is a exothermic as it releases heat, exothermic. Then what about evaporation of water? It is endothermic as we require energy to convert water into water vapor. It is endothermic. Then which will be our correct option? 1 and 3. No, 1 and 3 are not endothermic. 2 only. No, this is also wrong option. Then 3 only. No, this is also wrong option. Our correct option will be D. That is 2 and 4. These will be the endothermic processes. Okay, read the question properly and absorb the options that are given and recheck. Okay, next we'll read the question. A substance which oxidizes itself and reduces other is known as oxidizing agent, reducing agent, reactive metal. A and B. Okay, yes, the substance which reduces other is known as reducing agent. This will be our correct option. A substance which oxidizes itself will be the reducing agent. Substance which reduces itself will be a oxidizing agent. Okay, be clear in that. Even though it seems very easy question, but you should not make confusion regarding this question. Okay, then our next question is strong heating of ferrous sulfate leads to the formation of brown solid and two gases. This reaction can be categorized as. Okay, first let us write the reaction so that we will be able to solve this answer. Okay, let me write the reaction. Ferrous sulfate, FeSO4, when it is heated, it forms ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Okay. The question is, this reaction can be categorized as. Clearly, this is a decomposition reaction as a single compound is broken down into different products. Okay, this is a decomposition reaction. So, our option can be either B or D. Okay, but among these two, which is the correct option? Here it is decomposition and redox. Here it is decomposition and exothermic. This is not at all exothermic reaction because here it is absorbing the heat. So it will be the endothermic reaction. So this option will be wrong. Then the correct option will be B. Okay, the correct option will be this. But how come this is a redox reaction? You should have knowledge regarding this, regarding the oxidation states of the elements which are involved in the reaction. Let me show you here. The oxidation state of iron is +2 as sulfate has -2 charge, sulfate ion has -2 charge. So whole the compound will have the charge 0. So here iron is having +2 charge. Then let us see the oxidation state in the product. Okay. We don't know the oxidation state of iron here. Let us check in Fe2O3. Let us keep X for its oxidation state. Then -2 will be the oxidation state for oxygen. But there are 3 oxygens here. So 6. The compound has 0 charge. So it will be 0. Then 2x is equal to 6. X will be +3. So here the oxidation state has changed from +2 to +3, means it has lost an electron here. Okay. Then what about sulfur here? Sulfate anion has charge -2. Okay. Let us find out the charge of sulfur here for sulfate. Let us keep X as we don't know. Then -8. -2 into 4, because charge of oxygen will be -2 into 4. -8, then the charge and is -2. So whole I will write -2. So X is equal to +6. Here the oxidation state of sulfur is +6. Let us check the oxidation state in the product, that is SO2. X -4 is equal to 0. 4 -4 because 2 into -2. Charge of oxygen will be -2. X will be +4. Here the charge is +4. Now the oxidation state of iron has changed from +2 to +3 and sulfur has changed from +6 to +4. So there is loss and gain of electrons here. So it is also a redox reaction. Okay. The correct option will be decomposition and redox reaction. Okay. Yes. This is clear. Then let us move to the next question. Consider the following chemical equation 1 and 2. The correct statement about the equation is: observe these two reactions. Magnesium reacts with hydrochloric acid to form magnesium chloride and water. Sodium hydroxide reacts with hydrochloric acid to form sodium chloride and water. Then let us check the options here. 1 is displacement reaction and 2 is decomposition reaction. 1 is displacement reaction and 2 is double displacement reaction. Both 1 and 2 are displacement reactions. Both 1 and 2 are double decomposition reactions. Okay, let us first check the here. Magnesium is displacing hydrogen from the acid to form magnesium chloride. So it will be displacement reaction. Then here in the second reaction, there is exchange of ions. Sodium cation and chloride anion form sodium chloride and hydrogen cation and hydroxide anion form water. So clearly there is exchange of ions between the compounds. So it will be double displacement reaction. So which will be our correct option? That is 1 is displacement reaction and 2 is double displacement reaction. 1 is displacement reaction and 2 is double displacement reaction. Okay, this will be our correct option. Then let us move to the next question. Which of the following statement about the reaction given below are correct? See the reaction here. Here they have given the statements that HCl is oxidized to chlorine. Means HCl is oxidized to chlorine. Is it true? Yes. Here there is loss of hydrogen. Loss of hydrogen is oxidation. Loss of hydrogen is oxidation. So yes, this will be correct. Manganese dioxide, that is MnO2, is reduced to MnCl2. Here there is loss of oxygen. Loss of oxygen is reduction. Yes, we know that. So MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2. MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2. So this is correct. Then MnCl2 acts as an oxidizing agent. Here MnCl2 is not oxidizing any substance, so this will be wrong. Then HCl acts as an oxidizing agent. HCl is undergoing oxidation, so it will not be oxidizing agent. It will be reducing agent. As it itself is undergoing oxidation, it will be a reducing agent. Okay, this is also wrong option. Okay, then our correct option will be 1 and 2 only. This is our correct option. Only these two statements are correct, so I have to put the right option, that is 1 and 2 only. Okay, clear? Then let us move to the next question. Which one of the following reaction is categorized as thermal decomposition reaction? Okay, water breaks down to form water, hydrogen and oxygen. Silver chloride breaks down to form silver and chlorine. Silver bromide breaks down to form silver and bromine. Calcium carbonate breaks down to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Clearly we know that in the first reaction it is a electrolytic decomposition. Okay. When we supply electric current through the water, what happens? There is a decomposition reaction taking place to form hydrogen and water. So it is electrolytic decomposition. Then what about these two? Both these reactions occur in the presence of sunlight. That is, they undergo photolytic decomposition. Then what about this reaction of calcium carbonate? Yes, it undergo decomposition reaction in the presence of heat. Yes, this is a correct option. Calcium carbonate, when it is heated, it forms calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. So our correct option will be D. Okay. What happens when copper rod is dipped in iron sulfate solution? Copper displaces iron. Blue color of copper sulfate solution is obtained. No reaction takes place. Reaction is exothermic. Yes, first let us write the equation. When copper rod is dipped in iron sulfate solution. What happens here? First check which element is most reactive. In this case, whether the copper is reactive or iron is reactive. Yes, we know that iron is more reactive than copper. So, as copper is less reactive, it cannot displace iron from its solution. So, whether the reaction takes place or not. Yes, it is clear that the reaction will not take place. No reaction. First, you have to observe the elements which are given, and you should remember the activity series here. Okay, as copper is least reactive, as copper is less reactive than iron, it will not displace iron from the solution. So the correct option will be C. Okay, yes. Next question is, a balanced chemical equation is in accordance with Avogadro's law of multiple proportion, law of conservation of mass, law of gaseous diffusion. Yes, it is clear that our balancing chemical equation is according to the law of conservation of mass, which states that mass can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, the mass of reactants must be equal to the mass of products in a closed system. Okay. Yes. Our next question is AR, that is assertion and reason. Our assertion is the reaction, this one is a redox reaction. Okay. This reaction is a redox reaction. This is assertion. Then reason is, in this reaction HCl is reduced to chlorine, whereas MnO2 is oxidized to MnCl2. Let us check the options now. Okay. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. First, let us analyze this assertion and reason. Okay. This is a redox reaction. Yes, it is true that it is a redox reaction, as there is loss of oxygen and loss of hydrogen here. So it is a redox reaction. Then reason given here is, in this reaction HCl is reduced to chlorine, whereas MnO2 is oxidized to MnCl2. HCl is reduced to chlorine. No, this is not reduction. Here, when there is loss of hydrogen means it is oxidation. It is not reduction. Okay. And MnO2 is oxidized to MnCl2. No, not at all. Here, it is losing oxygen. Then how can it be the oxidation reaction? Oxidation reaction means it will be a gaining of oxygen or loss of hydrogen. But MnO2 is not getting oxidized. It is getting reduced. So, our reason will be wrong. Okay. Then let us check the options now. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. This is false because here reason is not correct. Both A and R are true, but R is not the correct explanation of A. No, this is also false because our reason is not. Next, A is true, but R is false. Yes, here A is true. This is a redox reaction. What is A? The given reaction is a redox reaction. Yes, this is true. But R is false. Whatever the reason is given, that is mentioned, is false. So, this will be the correct option. And you can also check this. A is false, but R is true. How can it be false? It is absolutely a redox reaction. It is 100% sure that it is a redox reaction. So, our correct option will be C. Okay. Apply your knowledge here. Okay. And you have to check the key concept that is given here. The key concept here is about the oxidation and reduction. You should be aware of it. Okay. Next, burning of natural gas is an endothermic process. Is it true? No. Burning of natural gas is a exothermic process because during the burning of natural gas, a lot amount of heat is released. So it is not an endothermic process, it is exothermic process. So assertion A is false. Okay. Then reason. Methane gas combines with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Yes, this is true. When methane is burned, it produces carbon dioxide and water. This is true. Then let us check the options here. This is true. The reason is true. Okay. Both A and R are true, and R is the correct explanation of A. Here A is not true. In option A, it is given that both A and R are true, but this is not the correct option. See the second option. Both A and R are true, and R is not the correct explanation of A. This is also not correct option, as here also they have mentioned that A is, but we have A is false. Okay. In the third option, that is C, A is true, but R is false. In the fourth option, A is false, but R is true. Yes, A is true, but R is false. Here also they have given A is true, but we know that A is false. So our correct option will be B. This will be our correct option because A is false and R is true. Okay. Okay, the next question is, a substance X is used in whitewashing and is obtained by heating limestone in the absence of air. Identify X. We know that calcium oxide, that is quicklime, is used in whitewashing. Yes, we know. CaO is used in whitewashing. And also it is given that this is obtained, means X is obtained by heating limestone in the absence of air. How do we obtain this? This calcium oxide is obtained by heating limestone in the absence of air. Yes, limestone is nothing but calcium carbonate. When it is heated in the absence of air, we get calcium oxide plus carbon dioxide. Yes, it is true that calcium oxide is obtained from calcium carbonate. So what will be the X then? X will be calcium oxide, that is quicklime. Okay. So our correct option will be C. First you have to observe the question, that is what it is given. Once again I will explain. A substance X is used in the whitewashing and it is obtained by heating limestone. They have given that this substance X is obtained by heating the limestone. So, how do we obtain CaO, that is calcium oxide, from calcium carbonate, that is limestone? So, the correct option will be calcium oxide. Okay. Let us see next question. Yes, I will read the question now. When hydrogen sulfide gas is passed through a blue solution of copper sulfate, a black precipitate of copper sulfide is obtained and the sulfuric acid so found remains in the solution. The reaction is an example of, first let me write the reaction, because once the question is given, unless and until you write the question, you will not come to know what type of reaction it is. So do not blindly tick the answer. First write the equation by seeing the question, what is the statement that is given. Okay. Hydrogen sulfide gas is passed through copper sulfate, CuSO4. Then what is obtained? A black precipitate of copper sulfide is obtained here. So I obtain CuS, and the sulfuric acid so found, means so formed, and also they have given that sulfuric acid is formed, H2SO4. Yes, this is the reaction that is happening. Then the question here is, the reaction is an example of which type of reaction? You can observe here there is exchange of ions between the compounds. Okay. Here there is exchange of ions. So this indicates that this is a double displacement reaction. Okay. The correct option will be double displacement reaction. That is option number D. Next, the question is, calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to form slaked lime. The reaction can be classified as combination reaction, exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction, oxidation reaction. Then options given here are A, B, C and D. First we have to see the reaction. Which type of reaction is it is? Calcium oxide reacts with water to form calcium hydroxide. This is a reaction. Clearly we can see here that this is a combination reaction as there is a formation of only single product. So it is sure that it is a combination reaction. But here the options are different. Okay. Again, what information that we get from this reaction is when this reaction happens, a large amount of heat is liberated. Yes, we know that it is an exothermic reaction. Then how do we classify this? How do we classify this equation as it is a combination reaction and also it will be exothermic reaction. Let us check the options now. A and C, no, it is not the correct option as it is not the endothermic reaction. Then C and D, no, it is not at all endothermic reaction and oxidation reaction. Then A, C and D, no, this is also not an correct option. Then our correct option will be D, that is A and B. This is combination reaction and exothermic reaction as well. Okay, understood? You have to observe the complete reaction and you have to see whether heat is being released or heat is being absorbed. So you have to check which type of reaction it is. Okay, then the last question of MCQs. In which of the following the identity of an initial substance remains unchanged? Means we have to find out whether it is a physical change or chemical change. Okay. Curdling of milk. Yes, the change will be here chemical. Chemical change means there is change in the identity. Okay. Change in identity. And formation of crystal by the process of crystallization. This is a physical change. Fermentation of grapes, it is chemical change. Digestion of food is also chemical change. Yes. In which of the following the initial substance remains same? Unchanged means it remains same. You have to make clear what is the meaning of the question here. Okay. The identity of an initial substance remains unchanged means it remains same. So in this process, the formation of crystals from the process of crystallization, there is no change in the identity of a substance. Simply there is a formation of crystals. Okay. There is change in the geometric shape there. There is no change in the identity. So the correct option will be B. Okay. Now let us see the next question, that is case study question. Take about 2 grams of ferrous sulfate crystals in a dry boiling tube. Heat the boiling tube over the flames of the burner. In this reaction, you can observe that a single reactant breaks down to form simpler products. This is a decomposition reaction. Ferrous sulfate crystals lose water when heated and the color of the crystals changes. It then decomposes to ferric oxide, sulfur dioxide and sulfur trioxide. Ferric oxide is a solid and sulfur dioxide, sulfur trioxide are gases. Now you have to understand this reaction, then answer these questions. Okay, first of all, what happens here? When ferrous sulfate crystals are heated, these are ferrous sulfate crystals. It has water of crystallization. When you start heating this, first it loses water of crystallization. Then also the color changes. Initially it is light green in color. Okay. It is light green in color. Once it loses the water of crystallization, what happens? It forms white in color. Again, when you go on heating the ferrous sulfate, what happens? It undergoes thermal decomposition reaction to form ferric oxide plus sulfur dioxide plus sulfur trioxide. It is thermal decomposition. And it is also said that these two are gases. First it was light green in color. Once it loses the water of crystallization, it becomes white in color. Again, when you go on heating the ferrous sulfate, ferric oxide is formed. It is brown in color. And also what observation do you make here is there is a characteristic smell of burning sulfur. When sulfur dioxide is formed, there is a burning smell that we can observe here. Okay. So now let us try to answer these questions. What compound is formed when sulfur dioxide is passed through water? Here we know that sulfur dioxide is formed in this reaction. The question is, when this sulfur dioxide is passed through water, what is the product formed? Understand the question? We get H2SO3, that is sulfurous acid. This is sulfurous acid. Okay, you have to mark this. Then the next question is, what can we observe in this activity? Water vapor is evolved, change in color, smell of burning sulfur, all of the above. As we have already seen that water vapor is evolved because the ferrous sulfate crystal loses water of crystallization. So this is also correct. There is change in color. Yes, first it was initially light green in color and then it turns white, and after it undergoing the thermal decomposition reaction, it turns to brown. Okay, this is also correct. Then there is a smell of burning sulfur. It is also correct. So the correct option is all of the above. Okay. Next, the question is, what is the color of ferric oxide? Yes, the color of ferric oxide is brown. So our answer is A. Okay. The next question is, state whether the given chemical reaction is a redox reaction or not. Justify your answer. It is a 2-mark question. We have to see this reaction. Yes. In this reaction, manganese dioxide is losing oxygen to form manganese chloride, and HCl is also losing hydrogen to form chlorine. So, loss of hydrogen, loss of oxygen, or gain of hydrogen or gain of oxygen will give the redox reaction. Yes, this is a redox reaction. You have to justify your answer. First, you need to write, yes, it is redox reaction. Now, you need to justify your answer. What has happened here? Manganese dioxide is reduced to manganese chloride. Okay, MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2. And what has happened here? Again, HCl is oxidized to fluorine, Cl2. HCl is oxidized. So, it is a redox reaction. 1 mark is for writing whether it is redox reaction or not, and 1 mark is for justifying your answer. Okay. The next question is, a solution of potassium chloride when mixed with silver nitrate solution, an insoluble white substance is formed. Write the chemical equation involved and also mention the type of chemical reaction. Yes, let us write the equation. A solution of potassium chloride, that is KCl, reacts with silver nitrate AgNO3 to form a insoluble white precipitate. That is, it undergoes reaction with AgNO3 to form AgCl plus KNO3, that is silver, that is potassium nitrate. Okay, this is the reaction that takes place here. Here silver chloride is a white precipitate formed. When potassium chloride and silver nitrate react together, a white PPT, that is silver chloride, and potassium nitrate are formed here. It is solid. Okay, the question is, write the chemical equation involved that we have written and also mention the type of chemical reaction. We have to mention the type of chemical reaction. Here there is exchange of ions between these two compounds. KNO3 is formed and AgCl is formed. So there is exchange of ions. It is a double displacement reaction. It is a double displacement reaction. Chemical reactions taking place in each of the following cases, and write a balanced chemical equation for the reactions. We have to write a balanced chemical equation, and also we have to mention the type of chemical reaction. Okay, first let us see the first question in this part, that is, first, zinc reacts with silver nitrate to produce zinc nitrate and silver. Okay, let us write it. Zinc reacts with silver nitrate, that is AgNO3 to form zinc nitrate and silver. Okay. The equation is not balanced. We have written the equation, but we need to balance it. It is a polyatomic compound. Yes. Let us balance this nitrate here by writing 2. This is balanced now. Now silver is to be balanced yet. See, now the equation is balanced. Okay. What is the type of chemical reaction it is? Here, a single element is displacing another element from its solution. Yes. So, it is a displacement reaction. It is a displacement reaction. You should not forget to mention the type of reaction. Okay. Now, let us write the second equation. Potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate to form potassium nitrate and lead iodide. Okay. Potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate to produce potassium nitrate and lead iodide. Okay. Here also we need to balance the equation. I can write here 2 so that nitrate ion is balanced on both the sides, or you can take single elements and balance it. But once you become used to it, it is very easy to balance it in a single step only. Okay. So now potassium atom is also need to be balanced. See, check. Now the whole equation is balanced now. Now we have to find out the equation. What type of reaction it is. Okay. Here there is exchange of ions between the compounds. Okay. KNO3 is formed and PbI2 is formed. It is a precipitate, yellow precipitate. Okay. So you need to mention the type of reaction. It is double decomposition. Sorry. It is double displacement reaction. And also it is precipitate reaction. Yes, there is a formation of yellow precipitate here of lead iodide. So it is also precipitate reaction. So when the question is asked in parts, you should answer completely. Here they have given the first equation. First write the equation and balance it and mention the type of reaction it is. And also next answer the second one. Mention the type of reaction. Your answer should be in a very perfect manner. Okay. The next question is 1 gram of copper powder was taken in a china dish and heated. What changes takes place on heating? When hydrogen gas is passed over this heated substance, a visible change is seen in it. Give the chemical equations of reactions, the name and the color of the products formed in each case. Okay. Here, when copper powder is heated, what happens? When copper powder is heated, it reacts with oxygen to form copper oxide. Okay. Initially, it was brown in color. Once you heat it in the presence of oxygen, it becomes black in color. It is due to the formation of copper oxide. Again, what happens if you heat this substance by passing hydrogen over it? When copper oxide is heated by passing hydrogen over it, the reverse reaction takes place to form copper back and water is formed here. Again, the black copper oxide turns brown in color. This is the reverse of this reaction. Here it has undergone the oxidation. Here it has undergone reduction to form copper again. What you need to write now? Copper when heated in presence of oxygen forms black powder due to the formation of copper oxide. Okay. This is the reaction. Balance it. Again, what happens when the heated substance is made to react with hydrogen? The reverse reaction takes place to form brown copper. Okay, these are the color changes. You have to mention the color change that has happened during the reaction. First, initially it was brown in color. Once it has underwent the oxidation, it has become black in color. Again, when this substance is heated or when this substance is made to react with hydrogen, it again retains its color, that is brown. You have to mention the color also as it is asked in the question. Okay, this is all about the reaction of copper with oxygen and the reaction of copper oxide with hydrogen. Okay, next the question is, decomposition reaction require energy either in the form of heat, light or electricity for breaking down the reactants. Write one equation each for decomposition reactions where energy is supplied in the form of heat, light and electricity. Let's see it is a straightforward question. We have to write the decomposition reaction. We have to write the each equation for thermal decomposition, electrolytic decomposition and photolytic decomposition. Okay, let us write the answer. First one, thermal decomposition. Yes, let us give the example for this reaction, that is thermal decomposition reaction. When calcium carbonate is heated, we get calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, this is a thermal decomposition reaction. Next, it is calcium carbonate to form calcium oxide and carbon dioxide. Okay, then let us give example for electrolytic decomposition reaction where electricity is absorbed for the breaking down of the compound. When electric current is passed through the water, what happens? Hydrogen and oxygen are liberated. Okay, this is a electrolytic decomposition reaction, electric current. Yes. Then photolytic decomposition, we can give example of silver chloride or silver bromide. Okay, when silver chloride is kept in sunlight, the white silver chloride is converted into gray color silver. Okay, silver chloride is converted into silver plus chlorine. Balance the equations here also. Okay, it is silver and it is chlorine. So we have written each equation for decomposition reaction, that is by supplying heat, light and electricity. Okay, let us see the next question. What happens when food containing fats and oils are left for a long time? List two observable changes and suggest a way by which this phenomenon can be prevented. This is about the rancidity. Yes, when food containing oils and fats are left for a long time, they undergo oxidation. What are the changes that you can observe after they have undergone the oxidation? Yes, the smell and taste of the food materials will get changed. Okay, the smell and taste of the food containing oils and fats change. Yes, there is change in the taste and smell when they undergo the oxidation process. That is, they have become rancid. This process is called as rancidity. This process of oxidation of fats and oils is called rancidity. Okay, again, they have asked that suggest a way by which this phenomenon can be prevented. Okay, the phenomenon that we have seen is rancidity. How can we prevent the rancidity? By keeping the food in airtight containers. Okay, so you have to write the observation here and also you have to suggest a way for which this rancidity can be prevented. Let us see the next question. What happens when an aqueous solution of sodium sulfate reacts with an aqueous solution of barium chloride? State the physical conditions of reactants in which the reaction between them will not take place. Write the balanced chemical equation for the reaction and name the type of reaction. Okay. First we have to write the equation for the reaction, that is aqueous solution of sodium sulfate Na2SO4. It reacts with aqueous solution of barium chloride. So what happens here? There is a exchange of ions that takes place to form Barium sulfate, it is a precipitate formed in the reaction. So I have written S for this. Then sodium chloride. Also we have to balance the equation right here too to balance the chlorine atoms. Now sodium atoms are balanced, chlorine atoms are also balanced. What about sulfate? Yes, it is also balanced. Okay. We have mentioned the physical conditions. Both are taken in the aqueous form and this is a precipitate formed in the reaction. So I have written S for it and sodium chloride is soluble. So I have written AQ for this. Okay. Now I need to state the physical conditions of reactants in which the reaction between them will not take place. This reaction will not take place in the solid form. When the reactants are in the solid form, the reaction will not take place because there is no formation of ions there. If the ions are not formed, then there will be no exchange of ions. So the reaction will not take place. What is the reaction that has taken place here? It is a double displacement reaction. Mention the reaction first. It is a double displacement reaction. You should also mention the names: sodium sulfate, barium chloride, barium sulfate and sodium chloride. Now we have mentioned the physical conditions. Okay, physical states we have mentioned. We have also mentioned the type of reaction. Now we have to say that under what physical states the reaction will not take place. Okay, the reaction will not take place if the reactants are in solid form. If the reactants, as there is no exchange of ions. Okay, so this is the answer for this question. Okay, now the next question is 2 gram of silver chloride is taken in a china dish and the china dish is placed in the sunlight for some time. What will be your observation in this case? Write a chemical reaction in the form of a balanced chemical equation. Identify the chemical type equation. We have to identify the what type of reaction it is. Okay, when white silver chloride is placed in sunlight for some time, it turns gray in color. Why? Because the silver chloride has undergone the decomposition reaction in the presence of sunlight to form gray color silver. Okay, this is due to decomposition of silver chloride form silver and chlorine. Okay. The reaction involved in this the equation involved in this reaction is what happens what happens here? Silver chloride, when it is kept in sunlight, it forms silver and chlorine. Okay, balance the equation. The white color silver chloride is turned into gray color silver. This is the color change that we observe here. Okay, what will be your observation means we should mention the color change here and we should also say why this color change has happened. Write a chemical reaction in the form of a balanced chemical equation. We have written that. Yes, identify the type of chemical reaction. It is identify the type of chemical reaction. Okay, it is a identify the type of chemical reaction. We know that it is decomposition reaction. It is, we should mention photolytic decomposition. Okay, it is, as we know that it has taken place in the presence of sunlight, so we should mention it is photolytic decomposition reaction. Yes, this is all about this answer. Okay. Okay. So far we have discussed different types of question on chemical reactions and equations. So go through the key concepts of all these. You will be able to answer it in a simple way. Okay. And please concentrate on what type of question it is. If it is of 1 mark, write a short answer. If it is of 2 marks, then write accordingly. When the reaction or when the question is asked in parts, please be concentrated to write answer in parts. Means you should cover both the parts. Like here they have given what will be your observation. This is one question, and write a chemical reaction in the form of balanced chemical equation. You should observe this also. And another one thing, identify the type of chemical reaction. So a single question is asked in parts. So you should be able to cover all these parts. Okay. Please be concentrated on question first. Read the question properly and then answer. Okay. This is all about the questions on chemical reactions and equations. Okay. All the best to you all. See you in the next session.